To me, empowering girls means giving them tools, the knowledge, and the ability to believe in themselves that they can do anything.
In order to empower girls for the future, we need to educate them. And if girls get an education, then that's their biggest power.
I think it's important for us to invest in girls to help them discover skills they didn't know that they had.
Empowering girls for the future is seeing them achieve heights that they've never achieved before.
When girls are allowed to realize their full potential, I think that would just be awesome, and the benefits would be just extraordinary.
Our mission statement is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character that make the world a better place, and I have seen this in action.
I went to undergrad college in Centenary College in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And through Centenary, I had the opportunity to travel to China, and I worked as a teacher in China for a year. Working in China was a tremendous experience, and it really showed me how the rule of law changes every facet of our lives, from society to politics to even education. And it was that time in China that really made me decide to get into the practice of law. I've been with Laddie Clark and Ryan since 2011. I focus my practice mainly on employment law. We do both counseling and litigation. I get the benefit of working both on plaintiffs' cases as well as defense cases, which I think makes us a pretty well-rounded firm.
I grew up in New York City, Elmhurst, Queens to be exact. My parents came from Cuba to this country, and so their emphasis for me was always to invest in my education. They worked very hard and sacrificed a lot to make sure that I was able to get a proper education. I became interested in computer science when I was a junior in high school. I really loved the idea of being able to program and have the computer do something I instructed it to do. So I have worked at AT&T my entire career since getting my PhD. So that's 20 years. And as such, I've been spending all those 20 years in the research organization inventing the future. I currently have responsibilities for doing research in cloud technologies and services. It's a big transformation for the company. We're really in the thick of things.
I was born and raised in Wisconsin. I'm a middle child of 5 children. I started out, believe it or not, wanting to be a meteorologist. My undergraduate degree was in climatology. So I got out of school and was looking for a job, and that's how I fell into using my computer background, first as a programmer and then as a salesperson. So as a salesperson for the original Bluebird way back in '88, I began selling the systems and my territory grew and grew, and that's when I knew I wanted to take control of the company and do something with it. Bluebird Auto Rental Systems provides the software to car rental companies. So we develop it, sell it, and support it for customers around the world.
I grew up in Teaneck. I went through the Teaneck school system. I grew up with strong women around me. My mother is my biggest role model. I grew up from young knowing that I had no limits, and that with God anything was possible. And that has helped to guide me and shape me. I'm a social worker full-time for Bergen County Board of Social Services, and I got involved with my local union and became a legislative political coordinator and went down to Washington and fell in love. I'm in my 9th year as a council member. I was sworn in as mayor in July of 2014, and basically I'm the first of a legislative body of 7, and we set policy that governs the township.
When I was growing up, my parents really instilled upon my brother and I the importance of education. They grew up in the rural South. They attended segregated schools. So they knew that educational opportunity was really the opportunity that we needed to pursue. The reason I sought a law profession was because I love a good debate. I love the intellectual challenges. I love the analysis of the law. I love the impact of law on society. I am an attorney for United Parcel Service. I've been with the company for 19 years, and my job responsibilities include providing legal support for their technology division.
I'm the mother of 4. I started with Girl Scouts because my youngest wanted to get involved, and I wound up being the leader when they were in 3rd grade. My middle girl became involved with Girl Scouts because her friends still had a troop, And then my oldest, Justina, she has autism. When she was in 6th or 7th grade, her teacher had asked me about it. So we started the group for her, and then when she went to high school, we started a troop there at the high school for girls with special needs. I'm down to 1 troop now, since all my daughters have graduated from high school and left. I stay busy and involved in my community.
My mother always told me, there's nothing you can't do. She always told me if I put my mind to it, I could do it. I was involved with Girl Scouts through my entire school career. I have, countless memories of years at summer camp, and just the experience of being with so many friends and just having a great time outdoors all day. Through Girl Scouting, I was taught to, always give back and be conscientious of what you're doing. And it's something I've tried to continue throughout my whole professional career as well. I am truly honored and humbled being named the 2015 Young Women of Promise. It means so much to me, and I hope I can continue to live up to the promise that the Girl Scouts see in me.
In order to be able to innovate and to really come up with inventions, it doesn't happen with just single individuals. It's always a collaboration of team. And you have to have a diversity of people in order to have a diversity of thinking in order to lead to innovation. There are so few women that whenever I have an opportunity to speak to a group of women about science and engineering, I have to do it. The most recent event that I participated in was a Girl Scouts event called STEM in Your World. Quite often, when the girls think of an engineer, they think of somebody squirreled away in a lab with a white lab coat, but it's not like that at all. So there's a lot of ways in which girls can contribute to science at very fundamental levels, but also at this sort of consumer level, where they can actually be creating innovations that will touch the lives of millions of people.
I've been an avid sailor since I lived in the Southwest in San Diego. I'm a chaperone for the Sea Scouts. And as you may know, Sea Scouts is a division of the Boy Scouts. And I love it when I take a girl who may be timid and shy, not sure of her physical ability, out on a large sailboat and make her crank that winch. And everybody cheers you on as you're doing that, and they just blossom when you see them grow into the confident young girl that they're going to be.
I was not fortunate enough to be a Girl Scout, but my daughter will be. I have a 2-year, 8-month-old daughter, Alyssa, who is the apple of my eye. Being a mom has shaped me and has given my life focus and purpose, and makes me being mayor much more meaningful for what it's going to mean for her in the future. When I ran for council the first time in 2006, I was the only female candidate out of 17 candidates. I feel like I have a responsibility to lead, but not only to lead, but to be able to pass the baton.
I was a Girl Scout. I was a brownie, and I loved going to the meetings. One of my best memories was actually participating in an overnight camping trip, which is something I probably would have not had the opportunity to do had it not been for the Girl Scouts. And I think one of the best things about being a Girl Scout were the badges. And with each accomplishment, I think it built confidence for me. And I didn't realize at the time, but I think that's a very important component of the Girl Scouts is building confidence and, of course, character and courage. And I think it was truly a positive impact on my life.
Well, I love being involved with the girls. I love watching them grow. I love how excited they get about new things, how silly they are. It's just it's a whole lot of fun just being around them, and it really keeps me feeling young. We had a girl in the troop with selective mutism. During our first booth sale, was out asking everyone if they wanted to try Girl Scout cookies and buy Girl Scout cookies. And when her dad came to pick her up, he was like, "Where is she?" And I'm like, "Over there." And he looked over and he goes, "That's my daughter?" And I'm like, "Oh yes, that's your daughter." So it brought her out of her shell because we allowed them a safe place to question and explore, that they build that confidence up.
My advice to younger women as they choose their career or their future is really to choose something that you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about it, you'll be happy and you'll find a way to make it work. I can't wait to see a time when people don't register surprise when there's a woman in leadership or in a power position. I can't wait until there's a time that there's no articles written about wage disparity, because it doesn't exist. I can't wait until there's a time that no eyebrows raised when a man asks for leave to care for a newborn. I really can't wait until There's not these dividing lines between women and men. That's my hope.
I would say that the leadership skills that have helped me to succeed have been my ability to set direction, to have a vision, and then to get others to get excited about that vision and that goal. You have to be compassionate as well. So compassion is also very important to leadership.
I was often in a room as the only female with 10, 15, 20 men, so I'm quite used to that, and it's still the situation. I've always been a proponent of women, and especially young girls, going into non-traditional careers. I can't wait to see girls get to a point where they can actually be running the meetings instead of just attending them.
Some of our young girls are plagued with that, feeling like they're not good enough, or not smart enough, or not pretty enough, and you can be all of that. So advice that I would give young women is to always keep their options open, to never limit yourself. If someone had asked me 10 years ago if I would be in this position right now, I would have told them that they were joking. This is not something that I sought for myself, but when the opportunity presented itself, you should never be afraid, and I wasn't afraid of seeking that opportunity.
I can't wait to see girls reach the highest of heights, have limitless thinking. I think it's important that young women define themselves. A lot of times people like to put you in boxes about what you can and what you cannot do. And I think it's really important to understand what your capabilities are and what you can pursue, and not let someone else dictate to you what that is.
I can't wait to see girls just be happy being girls, giving them a safe place where they can experiment and fail. This is the safest place for them to experience that, because it's not a place where we're in competition. I just wish that we have more people, especially now, who would join and be volunteers. I have lots of girls waiting and wanting to be a Girl Scout. I know a lot of people feel that it's a big time commitment, and it is, but aren't your daughters and their friends worth it?